Hello, everybody, and welcome to another episode of CVtv Live. Today, we're back to back. Yesterday, we had an amazing show with Tulio from Reef. We always thank him for his expertise. And today, we have another kind of a surprise. We're going to be talking to Peter and Jeremy from Reef News Network. Peter has been using the control for a couple of weeks already, but I wanted to invite him over, not just to talk about the controller and what they thought about it, but also, have a little fun at our expense. So without further ado, let's bring in Peter and Jeremy. Hey, Jeremy.
Yo, what's up, Carlos?
Hey, guys, how are you?
Yo, what's happening? What's going on?
Doing, buddy?
Yeah, so are you guys ready?
No.
Nope.
Not really.
Not at all. But we're doing it for the sake of CoralVue. So
Thank you so much. So before we get started here, I want to say hello to everybody joining us. Alex Sadowski's here, Michael Schrader, Philip, Dustin. My God, we got RNN Nation right here now.
Yeah,
guys.
Baby.
That's awesome.
Representing.
So I want to say hello. Thank you for joining us. If you like the podcast, if you like the our video, then please feel free, check that thumbs up, check the subscribe button, and subscribe to our feed. It'll tell you when we have our live chats, and sometimes we have them back to back, sometimes we have them every week, and that's why you hit the subscribe button, so you know and you're aware when it's happening. We love having you around, and we love your comments. Hello, Ricky. How are you, man? And Jeff is here. So today we have a bit of a show. It's a little bit different than what everybody has done in the past. And the story goes, my producer, April, came up with the idea. And then I was like, I can't do this by myself. So who can I call to come and do it with me? And of course, Peter and Jeremy stepped up to the task. So my producer, April, comes back on a phone call, says, "Hey, Carlos, do you like hot sauce?" And I go, "Yeah. What do you think of a hot sauce tasting?" And I go, "Oh my God." And right off the top, Peter and Jeremy just popped in my head. It's like, oh my, I got to get those guys to come up and do it. So, what did you guys think when I sent you that text message? It's like, what did you guys think?
Yeah, I was psyched. I mean, I'm always psyched to connect with you and do stuff with you guys, be on the lives and stuff. We had a great time with the happy hour and hot sauces. Why not? I do love hot sauces. The ones you chose are probably a little over the top for what I would normally use, but it's all for the sake of content. So we're gonna punish ourselves so you, the viewer, does not have to.
Exactly. We're going to let you say that again, Jeremy.
I said we can have some fun with this. The viewers, I'm sure, are going to have some fun with this. And Carlos, thanks for thinking of us. I mean, last time with the happy hour, I thought it was a great show. We had a lot of fun. It was great. I really enjoyed the beverages. So this is a whole new level, though. A whole new level.
Indeed.
And I love this because, guys, it's getting to the pattern when the three of us get together. It's going to be dangerous, for whatever reason, and we just keep up in the ante. I mean, I'm like, next time, I don't even know what we're going to do next.
I have some ideas.
Oh, you have some ideas? Okay. Maybe next time we'll actually do it live together,
There you go. We'll drag Jeremy out to Chicago when this whole crazy pandemic thing's over, and we'll do it up right in Chi-Town.
That is awesome. I want to take some time to say hello to Blaine, Cindy, Jeremy Reichel is here, Richard McKellips, and thank you so much for joining us, guys. We're here to have a little bit of fun. So we did is our producer went ahead and looked at I think she said Insider magazine, right?
Yeah,
Insider through the New York Magazine, and we found the top 20 hot sauces of 2020, as if 2020. Oh, I'm sorry. It was the strategies through New York Magazine online. Okay. Yes, and we found the top 20 hot sauces of 2020 because 2020 hasn't been bad enough that they had to pour some hot sauce on it too.
Perfect. It's not bad enough that we just need to, punish ourselves and, not taste anything else for a week here. So I don't know if this is a bad sign, but I'm already sweating. I haven't even.
Oh man, you're wearing way too much clothing, bro.
Yeah, I really am. I didn't prepare well for this, and of course, because of the audio, I got to keep the overhead fan off. But I'm ready. I'm going to sweat it out for you guys, for you to be able to. Yeah. No, go ahead.
So when I reached out to Peter gave us, there's several YouTube shows out there that we saw that people have done it. I think, it wasn't, I thought it was a creative idea, and then somebody else had come up with it already. But there's a show out there about hot sauces, and there's like a whole bunch of celebrities in there. And, I've seen several ones, and April, our producer, is literally addicted to them. She can't stop watching them because of the faces of the celebrities. And it's actually kind of fun. I mean, there's some people in there that I didn't expect to see.
Yeah, and it's awesome too because the show's called The Hot Ones, and I don't know if it's an actual YouTube show or if it's another show that's just broadcast on YouTube too. But the cool part is that you really get to learn interesting things about the celebrities, that they're interviewing. It's not just the standard fanfare. Like, he goes through and I think they do 10 hot sauces. So as they progress through from easy to bad, the questions get a little deeper and a little, more offbeat and stuff. So the celebrity is there like dying. And then, they're really getting to like these deep, dark questions with the celebrity. So it's really good. It's an enjoyable show. If you've never seen it, go check it out. I mean, there's everybody from, I don't know, like newscasters to Kevin Hart's on there, Will Ferrell, Drew Barrymore. She was super funny on there. So it's a cool show. I just suggest you go check it out.
I saw the one with Halle Berry, and hands down, she was not even just taking a small bite out of it. She was finishing and cleaning up the bones. I'm like, girl, you got some heat in there.
I hope nobody's expecting that tonight. I'm going with the one drop, and I'll give you my feedback.
That is fantastic. So
I didn't know that rule, so thank you for clarifying, Peter.
No, that's just me, Jeremy. You're all in. You're the all in guy. I'm the minimal guy. So that's it. You just load up.
So what did you guys do to prepare this? Have you guys? We ordered the hot sauces, and the rule was that we all are tasting the same 4 hot sauces that we have never tasted before. So we do not know what we're in for. Right. But did you guys did you take extra hot sauce, extra Tabasco sauce, extra habanero in the last few days? Just kind of bring your palate and your tolerance up, or no?
Yeah, right before I went to bed every night, I just put a ghost pepper under my tongue and just slept that way. Got up in the morning, rinsed, repeat. And it was a little extra over the top, but I didn't want to embarrass myself.
Okay. What about
I threw Tabasco and sriracha on every meal I could. Just to have something. I always do a little something. I also have a friend that does makes his own. It's called Bad Juju. So I throw that in anything I'm eating anyways, but it's really like a smoky heat. It's not hot. So we'll see if it helped at all. My guess is probably it helped 0. Like not even a little bit. But we'll see.
Exactly. That's awesome. I want to say hello to Rajendra. I want to say hello to Victor de la Torres. Actually, she said she handled it like a champ. So I guess Victor has watched that podcast and saw Halle Berry as well. So nice. that is fantastic, man. We love it. And then Bob Winfrey says, "Hells to the no."
We should have dragged Bob in for this. We should have brought him over to the house and just made him choke it down. So to have him in the background just dying,
That'd been perfect.
Yeah. Jeremy says tomorrow is going to be hell for these guys. I'm like, yeah. All right.
I'm not even sure it'll take till tomorrow. I'm pretty sure if you see me upping the pace by the end of this and just kind of start leaning off screen, you'll know I need to go.
If you just start slurring your words, it's like you just can't feel anything.
That's it.
And,
what are you sipping on over there, Peter?
What's that?
What are you sipping on over there, Peter? Sorry, Carlos.
Yeah, no, please.
Downy Cider.
Okay.
Oh, that's awesome. Well, you know what? I got water and I got milk myself here, prepare for this.
Milk.
So milk is, it's like, because I got to figure out a way to keep this going, because we have 4 sauces, but man, I can't do 10. That's just going to be crazy.
Yeah, but you got 4 sauces that start out like a punch in the face and then go up to like a kick in the ribs. Like at least they're starting off with oh, hey, this tastes nice. Like 1 through 5 are just like enjoying the flavor. You went right to like DEFCON 4, like no joking around. So
Pete, I was at a kick somewhere else, also not kicking the ribs.
Yeah. Well, trying to be family friendly. I don't know who's on, but
so before we get to this this whole hot sauce and everything, and introduce the hot sauce and tell everybody, it's like, Peter, I know that we sent you a Control 4, Hydros Control 4, and you've had a little bit of time to dabble with it. So tell us what you think of the first impression.
Yeah, I'm really impressed. So we've been talking about this. I went back and kind of looked through when the first time we kind of talked with you guys about this, and it was about 1.5 years ago. And then we saw the actual WaveEngine over 1 year ago now at RAP Orlando. And, so we've been talking about this for so long that, you always kind of wonder. This industry has a lot of people that try to like bring something like this to the market, and we talked about it during the social that it's no joke. It's not just taking a plug and saying turn things on and off. I mean, Don was on with us when we did the podcast, and I do want to tell people tomorrow's podcast is with Carlos and Don doing kind of like the 1 year from when we talked about it to the release. So check in tomorrow night's podcast, because while it'll be kind of a lot of some of the stuff it'll be with Don and Carlos, but it's such a daunting task, and so many people either get to a point where they say good enough and that haunts them, or they just never make it to market. And you guys weren't content with good enough, which I commend you for. And I mean, CoralVue, you guys aren't a startup or a fly-by-night company. You have a track record of that. And you listened. We talked about on the social about, some comments I had made to you that, initially were hard to hear. And then you kind of, took it to heart and went back, and you guys changed the app and everything. And I gotta say, I'm really hands down just impressed across the board. And I mean, I know we're on your show. You sent me one as a beta tester. This, people kind of tend to feel like this is lip service, but it's not. I've beta tested other controllers from other companies, and I've been very clear that they just didn't cut the mustard, and they sent me those as well. You guys were really thoughtful about the approach. It's very, very clear that it was designed by hobbyists for hobbyists, and that is, I would say, 95% of the downfall of anybody else that attempts to bring something this commercially viable to the market. Open source is a whole different story, but one of the big ones that was a big company, and they're still around, so I'm not going to call out their name or anything else, but they really have got no market share, but they weren't hobbyists, and it was 100% clear that the app and the product was built by engineers, and having an engineering background for technical engineering development and coding and everything else, it's very easy for me to spot that.
Yes.
So I will say this, and I said this to you guys. I struggled. I was frustrated for the first 15 minutes because I could not let go of my mindset. Now, anybody that's listened to the podcast or knows me knows, I have a ton of Apex stuff. I mean, I started out with the Reef Keeper. You guys remember that? Digital Aquatics Reef Keeper? Yeah. So I started out a million moons ago with the Reef Keeper. In fact, just last night, I threw away literally like this much Reef Keeper stuff I had like lying around in a bin still, threw it all away. And I've been Apex for, I don't know, 5 years or whatever. Mm-hmm. Apex has a very specific way they do things. And good, bad, or otherwise, they came from a very coding base to kind of putting an interface, on it that made it a little more click and everything else. But I had such a hard time letting go of that. And then when you and I talked and you said, no, so think about it this way, it was literally like a light bulb went on. And what I struggled with for 15 minutes, I then completed in about 3 minutes, because all of a sudden it just clicked. It just made sense. It was click. Oh, okay. Click, done. ATO configured. Click. Optical sensor configured to turn on skimmer. And, it was just, it was really, you guys really embrace the, and I'm sure you're going to talk about it, the, 3 steps to accomplish anything, and that's a big thing. I have a background in web development, and that's always been a big thing. Even, I started at like Netscape version 1, literally like 1997, I think was the first time I did web development. And And it was always, if you have to click more than 3 layers deep, nobody's going to find it or nobody's going to care about it. And it's the same thing here. If you have to go 3 steps or more, maybe there's a 4th step for something advanced or whatever. But once you go beyond that, it becomes so advanced and frustrated, you just get lost in the menus. You forget where you started to get to the end. So I commend you guys. The fit and finish is really nice. It's, it's a nice, heavy, feels solid piece of equipment. It's not light or flimsy. The connectors are threaded connectors. You guys really went out of your way to make everything like nice and solid. Yeah. So we got a picture here on screen of it. So you can see they're all plug-in terminals with threaded connectors, nice thick acrylic casing and body. It looks cool and techy. You can see through it and you can see the boards, and it's got LEDs. So it also is, not only a cool piece of equipment, it's also a cool piece that if people see, they'd be like, whoa, what is that crazy thing with, circling, blinking lights and check out, So it really lends itself well to being a showpiece. If you have a show sump set, an open stand with a show sump and stuff, you can really kind of make it a piece of your equipment. I will say for me, I don't know if you guys can see these. These are what I like to refer to as sausage fingers. I do have a hard time when on the 6 banks, like spinning things, but that's not specific to this. I have that with anything that has like threaded connectors. So I do need to use kind of my thumb on the edge, and that's such
it's so minute.
A benign complaint that, and that's mostly my problem. I got big fat fingers, so I can't help it. But aside from that, which is my problem, not most people's problems, everything is just really well thought out. And you guys have listened. And I've said this in other conversations I've had with people, is one of the biggest things that you guys have done is you have listened to the feedback. You've listened to your beta testers. You've listened to what the public is asking for. You've taken that to heart. And you're working to development. If somebody says something's, not right, you guys listen and you have a conversation. And if you can come to a quorum to say, yeah, you're right. We just didn't think about that. You guys actually change it. And I've seen that. I've seen feedback I've given to you guys actually make it into, the app or the build or the process. And I think that's a huge thing. I think a lot of companies have lost sight of that. And a lot of companies suffer from that because they've kind of gone unchecked for so long. And I'm really happy. I really like it. I know I'm kind of gushing and fanboying on it, but it's new, it's exciting, it's technology. That's what I love about it. But I can assure anybody listening, it's not lip service. Carlos can attest. I have given negative feedback and I've given my opinions. So I'm not just on here telling you guys, if anybody wants to come over and put hands on it or do a live stream with me and see me configure something, through my app or whatever, I'll do it. I'll show you that this is not any kind of suck up. This is true opinion that I believe this product is kind of the next level product, made super simple and easy. But I will say, will say, you need to think differently. If you're coming from another product, you need to let go of all preconceived notions, ideas of how to program, how things work. Let it all go, clean the slate, maybe eat some of this hot sauce. It'll clean your mind out. You'll forget about what you knew and then just start over with a blank slate. And if you can do that, or if you've never used a controller before, this thing is just so simple.
Yes.
Yeah.
Thank you. I know, Jeremy, you haven't gotten the opportunity of taking the Control 4, but I promise you, I'll take care of that. We'll take care of that. I appreciate that. Yeah. Take care of that for you.
I have worked with the WaveEngine, and I feel like the first version of the app, as good as it was, you made a big improvement on. Like today, I was messing with it because I took a couple pictures. Right, I just wanted to turn off all my water movement in the tank except for the return. Turn them off. Literally, it was like click, 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 off. 4 gyres running in the tank, off with it, like 4 taps. That's it.
Yes.
Super easy. It's clean. It's really nice. And even with the previous app, the plug and play was so easy for any single water moving thing that it plugged into. It was like ready to roll. I was very impressed. I saw a comment from Bob Winfrey that said, if I can do it, anyone. That truly goes for me. Like I called these guys all the time for just to make sure on every single technical aspect or plumbing thing, or because I don't trust myself 100%. So I'd rather measure twice, call Peter, then call Bob, then cut, than do anything else. And with this, I plug, put it on the sidewall where I wanted it mounted, plugged it in, and had pumps running within minutes. So
fantastic.
And I can contest to that with Bob too. Bob lives here locally with Jeremy and I, and Bob's a good friend, and I've worked with Bob a lot. If you want something, built and tools and hands, Bob's your guy. If you want to, code something and use an iPad or an iPhone or something, I can contest that. That's not Bob's strong suit, and that's not an insult at all. I think I saw Bob comment. Jeremy just said. Bob said, if I can do it, anybody can do it, and it's true. It's true. So Bob will build you a pond, a shed, a tank by hand, but don't ask him to
the pond. And
don't ask him to code anything or anything that isn't more than logically clicking in the proper order.
Yes.
Right.
Wow. Impressed with what's going on so far.
Good. Thank you. Well, before we continue and get to the actual part of the show that we're all dreading and trying to stall, I want to take some time to say hello to Cindy Reyes. Thank you for joining us. Ryan Nash is here too. Josh is here as well. Dave Polson is here as well. Thank you so much for joining us, everybody. If you like the talk, if you like the live streams, please don't hesitate to just hit that subscribe button, hit that like button in there, and you will be immediately, pretty much almost real time announced anytime we have a live show. And sometimes we have back-to-back shows. Sometimes we have them every week. But you know what? If you don't want to miss it, then go ahead and hit the subscribe button or hit the like button. We stream on YouTube and we stream on Facebook as well. We were streaming on Instagram, but Instagram cuts you after an hour and the square is kind of weird. So we still have to figure that one out. So it's not that we don't like Instagram. It's just that we need to figure it out. That's it. That's it. So,
hey, Carla, 1 second. I just saw somebody pop through, and I want to give a shout out to our buddy Ray from Ray's Reef. He's our UK admin for our Facebook group and everything else. And I just want to give him a shout out because I know it's past midnight there. They're 6 hours ahead of us in Scotland. So,
nice.
So Ray, thanks for staying up, buddy. We appreciate you being here, supporting RNN Nation and supporting CoralVue. So
that's fantastic. Make sure that you're not in bed and you're going to wake somebody else by laughing because you're about to have a good laugh, man. So please don't do that to your wife or significant other. That would not be good. So we have a list of 4 hot sauces that we're going to try. So before we do that, there you go. So we have the Aardvark,
secret Aardvark.
Yes, Aardvark, right there. Everybody's got it. Then we have the Dave Gourmet Ultimate Insanity. So
I just want everybody to know, Ultimate Insanity, the hottest sauce in the universe with this insane plus mark. This is number 2.
This is number 2.
When I tried to guess at home lining these up, I had this as 4, but this is number 2. So
number 3, we have Professor Fart Punder's colon cleaner right here. Let me get the glare out. And that's number 3. And then number 4, we have what we call all natural because, we wanted to get something for Jeremy. Zombie apocalypse sauce.
It's gluten-free.
It's gluten-free and is all natural. Is it organic? I don't know. You know what? I don't think you mind.
Even if it's not, let's just call it that. So it says accidentally healthy, intentionally delicious. So
yes,
so there you go. They're sneaking healthy. It's like I feel like I'm gonna get healthier just eating this, despite putting it on a taco.
So
wait, I could be speculating, but I don't know. What's that?
You went with tacos?
I did because I couldn't get wings from the place I wanted to. And I was like, oh no, what do I do? Scramble. So I couldn't even get good tacos from the place that I get. So I actually had to have my wife on her ride home, race home with Taco Bell tacos because that's all I could get.
You're setting yourself up for failure.
But they're chicken soft tacos. I mean, I'm not going to lie. I do like them. It's not like I don't.
Okay, Jeremy, what are you eating?
All right, so actually, I got to give you a shout out. This is I got cauliflower tacos from my favorite place in Mystic, Rio Salado. My buddy Alex is the manager over there. He hooked me up with the cauliflower tacos a while ago, and I've been hooked on them ever since. So Alex, shout out to you for the hookup on these. And if you guys are ever in Mystic, this is a great Mexican spot to check out. They do amazing food, great options.
A lot of Mexican restaurants, even here in Chicago, there's a lot of Mexican restaurants. And I think by far they have some of the most the widest array of vegetarian food that any other restaurant out there. Every Mexican restaurant I go to, they always have vegetarian versions, which is fantastic.
So I'm like 90% plant-based in my diet. I eat meat here and there and eat fish here and there, but mostly vegetables for me. So the cauliflower tacos were a good fit. And I love them. The other place that's a great spot for vegetarian options is Indian spots. I mean, obviously.
Yeah.
Yes,
Huge.
That makes sense.
Those are our go-to.
Spicy too.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. That's
it. That should be our next challenge. We should do an Indian food challenge for our next one.
So my choice was wings. So I went ahead and got some drumsticks from the local store around here, which I like. So that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to get the wing, dab of the hot sauce, and take a bite and hope for the best. So let's go ahead and do you have anything? What are you guys drinking? You got water, milk? What else do you have to prepare for this?
I got Downy Cider, but I did bring a milk in my awesome Yeti cup, which I'll give some shout. There's our buddy Bahama Llama Coral.
Yeah.
WWC, the Reef Shine guys. And there's our cool Fez sticker. So
I'm going to get my sticker printed up still, bro.
Yeah, give a shout out on the people on the Yeti. If you made the Yeti cup, you've made it big.
Fantastic.
So I've got water, a couple of beers sitting on ice right now, UFO. And I think I got a Sam 76. I brought up almond milk because I don't have milk in my house.
I don't know if that'll do the same thing. I mean, that's not actually dairy.
We did have some heavy whipping cream.
That'll do the trick. That's why I was looking for cream. All we had was flavored cream. I also brought up some tortilla chip things, so I'll turn my mic down if I decide to crunch on any of those.
Love it.
Well, speaking of shout outs, let's talk about your show, guys. When is the show? How can people listen to? I know that you recently went through your 100th show or something like that. Was it?
Oh man, God, yeah. So we're 130, 136, I think, is this week.
God.
Yeah. So anywhere you get podcasts, Apple Podcasts, Stitcher, Spotify, iHeartRadio, wherever you can find us there. Thursday nights at 8 p.m. is generally when the podcast launches. Every now and again, we have to delay for reasons or not. Last week, actually had a computer crash and lost the episode I was working on. Had to scramble and put out. I went around and I collected all the at-show interviews that we've ever done and put together what ended up being a 6.5 hour episode.
Oh my God.
So it was ridiculous.
Because of that, Peter, or
what's that?
Did we get 6 weeks off since we did 6 hours of content?
I literally had to buy more space from the hosting company to accommodate this podcast just for this month. But, people are always like, I try to, when the podcast hits like an hour and a half, we're like, all right, we're running super long. Let's go. And people are always like, don't worry about it. More the better. So I was like, all right, well, we'll see what you like. Here you go. But it was cool because we haven't had shows and it was a really interesting, like you guys are on there multiple times for multiple raps and stuff, but it was cool to be able to listen to almost 2 years worth of shows to kind of hear things that were being talked about 2 years ago that are now come to fruition or haven't come to fruition, and it was interesting. So I can't imagine anybody sat there and listened to 6.5 hours. I'm sure people, sped through and jumped around and stuff, but it was an interesting way to kind of revisit everything in one thing and, kind of get a feel because they were all live from the show floor. So you heard all the people around and heard the excitement and, got excited again for the day shows ever do come back. So, but yeah, and we're on Facebook. You can find us hashtag RNN Podcast RNN Podcast on Facebook, Reef News Network on Instagram, and then we have our community group that's run by our team of volunteer admins, RNN Nation. Huge shout out to all those guys. Those guys just absolutely kill it.
Rock.
We could not be doing what we do on social media without those guys. So huge props to those guys for putting it in all the time. So, but yeah, that's it. If you go to our website, reefnewsnetwork.com, you can actually leave a voicemail message. We'll put you on the show. We haven't had a call in a while. So if you're listening to this and you want to get on the podcast, go leave us a a call, and we'll put you on the show. And yeah,
answer your question the best we can. You can also find us on Instagram. Blaine is taking that on, doing a great job. And in the Reef News Network or Reef News Nation page on Facebook, he regularly does something like Fan Photo Friday. So you guys drop down photos, and he puts out fan photos. So it's really fun and a way to be part and be included. So I think that's one of my favorites.
So what do we have to tag ourselves on Instagram to be part of that?
So you can tag Reef News Nation, RNN Nation, tag Reef News Network Podcast. We'll see it. But he always puts a post up on the Reef News Nation page and has people drop in photos, and then he puts them out as Reef News Network and gives shout out credit to everybody. So
that's great.
We had a lot of we crossed 1,000 people on the RNN Nation page on Facebook. So we got a bunch of giveaways coming up. So if you haven't joined yet, hop on the page, join. You can still get in, even though we've passed the 1,000 mark. We're not capping it. I think it starts running maybe this weekend. We're going to start taking a collection for names on that. But yeah, be sure to get over there. All kinds of good stuff we're going to be giving away for 1,000 members. So
yep.
That is great. That is great. All right. So here we go, guys. So let's grab our tacos right here, and we're going to go ahead and open that first one, which is Secret Aardvark. I'm going to ask our producer here to put the screenshot in there.
I'm actually excited about this one. Did you look at the label? They have this crazy recipe for Aardvark Red Eye, red beer. Yeah. So you take tomato juice, beer, and a tablespoon of this sauce, mix it all together, and then salt to taste. So I'm actually going to try that. I don't know what Harp, maybe Harp. That's a red beer, isn't it?
Yeah,
Harp. It's one of the Guinness family, I think.
Yeah. So
the I'm sorry, my producer. Can you put that image in there so everybody can see? So we have. This is the best rated by the strategists through the New York Magazine. It's manageable for those who aren't looking to kill themselves with hot sauce, but want to step up their hot sauce game with something flavorful. So this is probably the least of the hot one. So I'm going to go ahead and open this puppy.
Yeah, I did just open mine. I pulled the cap off, so I'm going to back my mic up here. But this one, I'm actually I'm going to go all in on. I'll try to put it up here so you guys can see where am I? Over here. All right, here we go. So let's see.
There you go.
All right, I'm 5 drips in.
5 drips in. Okay. All right.
So 8 drips in. You want me to go all out? I'm going all out. This is where
I got a little crazy too. So all right, I'm gonna go in and give this a go.
All right,
guys. Here we go.
Let's do it.
Let's got some bite.
It's a little
nothing like chewing to make good TV here. I like it. Oh, that's good.
Oh my God.
It's definitely got some heat, but it's not crazy. It doesn't hurt. You know, you can feel it. If you didn't like hot stuff, you wouldn't like it, but it's good enough that I'll put some more on here.
Yeah, actually, this one I'm going to put seconds on.
I'm eating a whole taco with this. This is going to be my backup.
This is actually really good. I'm actually going to stick to this one, guys.
Mm-hmm.
At home, not
right. All right. That's definitely like way better than I was planning for.
Oh, that's good.
It's got a nice flavor. Like I read habanero and I was like, great. This is where we're starting. But man, I really like that a lot.
Yeah.
I'll keep that on the shelf.
After the show, we're gonna post links to you can find it on Amazon, but this one, guys, I highly recommend this one. This is not even sriracha hot, right, no. Chris? Jeremy.
I think I would take it, for me, it's a level above sriracha, but like really manageable. I actually really love the flavor.
Well, it's different than sriracha. This is sriracha. The Korean spices are just so different, and so this is a totally different kind of heat. But I would say different heat, probably same as sriracha, maybe a little less, a little more, depending on your taste buds. Like but I got a lot. I'm gonna try that beer drink too.
Yeah, you know what? Sometimes that with the beer, Peter, that might actually bring up that flavor. It's gonna be pretty good.
Oh, hey guys, just note: refrigerate after opening.
Yeah, I think all of these are all natural. So
thank you. Refrigerate after opening. So I got to say, the first bite, there was a little bit of sweetness, and there's no hotness on, there's a little bit of tingling on my tongue, but that's about it. I don't even feel it in the back.
No, I got it like
on the front of the tongue. Yeah.
Yeah.
All right, guys. So talking about the control and the easiness of doing it. One of the biggest things that we wanted to do was, and we talked, and you, Peter, you brought this upon, you touched upon, it was our Steve Jobs mentality, or the rule of Steve Jobs, which is if it takes more than 3 steps, it's wrong.
Right.
And we took this to heart with the control and the app. And there were some struggles between how are we going to do this so that it only takes 3 steps to work on it, especially it was really difficult to, like you said, step out away from that box that we lived in for the last 20 years and actually look at the entire picture instead of just what we think we could see. And it was a self-imposed barriers in the way of thinking,
Right.
It is, go ahead, Jeremy. You got something you want to?
Well, Peter, you commented on this. I did a tank tour a little while ago on our page and went through and I have an Apex on the system, and Peter said that's the loneliest looking Apex I've ever seen. I'm running
one thing plugged in.
No, 2 heaters plugged into it, and that was it. Like legit, I hadn't gone any further. I have a calcium reactor sitting, waiting to set up because I want to get into the technology. I'm going to do it. I think this will be a key for me to do that, is going to be able to work with something that's very easy and makes it step by step. And it sounds like it's something, Carlos's that reaction said, we can help you with that.
The thing, and that was the hardest part to do. The hardest part to do was how, if creating a light or adding a heater, you can leave that as 3 steps. But how do we achieve a calcium reactor with pH inside the reactor with alkalinity sources? Because now everybody's got some kind of, most people, I'm not going to say everybody, but I'm going to say a good number of people have alkalinity monitoring devices. On top of that, CO2 and your recirculating pump. And how do we make it so that you can add all that criteria and still work together? And that took us a while to figure it out. But once we broke that mold, then we were gold. And to tell you a little insight, we started with a calcium reactor.
Oh, really?
I got to say it's a complex piece of equipment and it's daunting. A lot of people are scared by it. There's a lot of moving parts. It's really hard to do. And as an Apex user, even trying to configure it with an Apex, and I haven't done recently, maybe they've, done something else, but in the past, reading Mel's Reefs he's got some good write-ups on how to do it. It's super complicated. It's really, really complicated. And again, I got a ton of Apex equipment, and I have a water mixing station. I have my monitoring system. I have a level of automation that I have 200-gallon tanks. I have a high and a low sensor and a solenoid valve. I have a salt water tank with a low sensor. My ATO is run right out of that 100-gallon tank. My automatic water change is run right out of that salt water tank. And aside from physically dumping salt in, it's 100% automated. Turning valves too. I didn't automate the valves; those were very expensive. But to set that up, I'm not going to kid you. And again, I'm not bashing on anybody. To set that up was extremely complicated, just because of the way. For something like that, I really had to write my own code. I had to do a custom code writing. So there were no menus. And, and Apex has gone a long way with their Fusion, Apex Fusion. Yeah. The Fusion interface to kind of have, these little pre-canned things that help you set up things and do stuff too. But you guys, no matter what you want to do, you can still use that visual interface, that GUI interface with drop down. And all the if and or logic is built into that graphical interface. So you just need to pull down things and say, yep, I want that probe and I want it to do this thing and I want it to trigger on this thing. There was no having to think about, because I had to use so many different modules to get multiple sensors and pumps and things that I had to be like, all right, that sensor's on module 4.1 and it's sensor 2.6 and had to write all that out. And it was daunting. It was difficult to do. Could you do it? Sure, I did it. And, but I'm a developer, too. I know how to write code. I still had to look up examples to get examples of how to do it. But it was not a GUI interface with some drop-down menus that had built-in logic for you. And I do have to commend, as a developer, I do have to commend you guys, because even in web development, putting logic into a form just to make a form like fill in things as you choose options and stuff, you know, it's a lot of code and daunting. The level of code and mastery that you guys did, like the brain on Don is like bewildering to me. To just be able to conceptualize in code to make something so easy to do is amazing. So and I think that's the big difference. I think that's the big sell here is this is for anybody. You don't need to know anything but how to click on boxes. If you know how to use an iPhone app for just about anything, you know how to do this, because this is like the iPhone app of the controller world.
That's fantastic. That's what we wanted to hear. We started with that controller because we figured if we can make the controller configuration easy, the rest of it is cake. The rest of it is absolutely the rest of it is cake. So then we decided to start with the calcium reactor, and it's worked out. You shouldn't have to do code. And Peter, you're a developer. You know this. When you're writing code, if it's not a true compiler, you're opening up yourself for conflicting commands. Yep. You know, when the only thing that it does is check syntax, but it doesn't check if you're actually having conflicting commands, or if you're missing if you're not declaring a state before you declare a change, then when the change doesn't happen, what does it revert back to? You know, and this is more like a developer talking. And those are the kinds of things that we didn't want you to have to deal with.
And it shows truly. I mean, I can't wait for, I wish we were having shows so people could go to your booth and put their hands on it and just see how easy, you know, it is, how truly, if you're a smartphone user and you know, again, just like the controller debate, there's the phone debate, whether you got, you know, your iPhone and Android people and stuff too. But it's hard to deny that Apple has made an interface and a product that is made for the masses simplistically without having to learn a bunch of stuff. And Android still is, you know, Android, you can still get into the code of things and you can backdoor things and do this. And while it's still a smartphone and easy enough to use, there's a learning curve. Like even me, when I get on an Android phone, every now and again, I have to use an Android phone for something. I'm like, oh God, where is this you know, and you really go through it. Yeah. So, so it's a big achievement. I mean, it's honestly, you guys are the first company to really go outside that box and be able to deliver something that is really made for no matter what the level is. You know, somebody with a BioCube that wants to monitor 3 things, but doesn't know much more than how to turn on a light switch and feed their fish. You know, they can figure it out. So it's a big achievement, and it's, you know, you guys are to be commended for it.
I was gonna say, the guy that just wants one thing plugged to the controller, and I'm looking at Jeremy. It's like, yeah,
that's me. I mean, people are talking about his level of automation. I do a water change with a hose and dumping buckets back in, like zero automation at this point, like nothing. I run a doser. That's the most complex I've had so far.
All right. Okay. So everybody that's
number 2.
Yeah. Well, everybody has seen watching this show again. Subscribe. I know this show, we're talking a little bit about the control, but we wanted to do something different. I mean, that's why we had that chat with Tulio yesterday. So if you missed that one, we covered with Tulio from Reef, right? We covered PAR, we covered PER, we covered Kelvin's temperature, we covered UV, we covered wattage, and how to correctly look at the entire picture of a light and assess the lighting instead of just relying on some guy on a YouTube video telling you, hey, we tested this for an hour and we measured the PAR and we think it doesn't work. You know?
Can you imagine if you could capture Tulio's brain and put that in an app?
Oh my God.
Could you even wrap your head around like what you could do with that app when it came to lighting? I don't know what it is, but every time I see him talk, I go away like feeling like I need to like read an encyclopedia or something. Like I just feel like
nothing is basically how I feel.
Exactly.
And he's the nicest guy. like
He
so
is.
nice. It's not like in your face. He just talks, and you're like, oh wow, I'm lost.
Yep. And the Hawaiian shirts, like that's the biggest thing I saw last night. Everybody's like, "Oh, there's the shirt. There's the Tulio shirt."
We
If
got
you've
to
ever
get him
seen
on and
Tulio-
have him talk, Peter.
Yeah, yeah, absolutely. Him and Joy. Like a lot of people don't realize
know,
his wife
she's
Joy.
really
She is like an OG in this industry. Like her resume
Oh
is
yeah.
no slouch.
No,
And a
no,
lot of people
Joy,
don't even realize that.
Joy is fantastic. I mean, I've met Joy back in the late '90s. And known her for a while, and she's just fantastic. She's one of those unsung heroes of the industry. She's been around and seen so many companies come and gone, and it's just fantastic. You know, Thank you, Joy, and thank you, Tulia, for joining us yesterday. So here we go. Second hot sauce we got. It's called the hottest sauce in the universe. Dave's Gourmet Ultimate Insanity Hot Sauce. It says best one-drop hot sauce by the Strategist. Again, in the New York Online Magazine. This stuff is hotter than Pamela Anderson circa 1994.
I'm really glad they clarified that with a date.
Okay. Yeah. Oh, yeah, exactly.
If they hadn't, I was going to invalidate anything they had to say.
Also,
right.
100% have a regulator top if they're considering it a one-drop sauce. Sorry, there's no regulator on it.
Red velvet color.
It doesn't like, sometimes you smell something and it's like, oh, geez. I mean, it's good smell.
It's got like chili powder. Yeah. Chili powder, some paprika. Woo. I smell that. All right, here we go, guys. One dab. Remember?
I got one. I actually got two.
One dab. I'm going for it.
I got two.
Oh boy.
This thing is like paste thick.
I want a little heavy, but whatever.
Woo-hoo. All right, just everybody ready?
All right, here we go. Cheers.
Here, cheers.
Ooh.
That's hot.
That's hot.
Oh yeah.
That's hot, and that's not good.
I can feel
No,
it.
it's just like hot. No flavor.
Oh, there, I sweat. I don't like that at all.
Woo.
I can deal with hotter.
You have that itchiness when you're eating hot sauce and you get all hot and itchy? Because I do.
Not yet, but I have a feeling it's coming.
That's just not good.
It's getting worse.
That's like Pamela Anderson circa this year.
The 2020 version? Oh,
2020.
Oh, I can feel that.
Man, I can feel the heat on my gums.
Oh my God. I'm feeling it I'm feeling my lips, my tongue. I feel it under my tongue, and I'm feeling it in the back of my throat already. Wow. This does not go well for voice, God. Peter is so well spoken during the podcast. It's all out now. He is there,
That's all edited.
What is this number 2? Oh man.
Dude. All right. So I could see this maybe being used like in cooking, like a drop into like a soup or something that it dissipates.
I went way too heavy.
Oh my God. I had 2 to 3 drops and it's too much. It's hot. That's hot.
Yeah, I do agree with the one drop and you're good because I'm tearing up already.
Oh, Carlos.
The thing about it, not having any hair, you get to sweat, and my head is sweating, guys. Look, my head is sweaty.
You got lights reflecting off of it. It's good.
I know.
Whatever you do, don't touch your eyes.
For real.
We were going to have Dave Dockin come in and join us with the hot sauce and everything.
Yeah, what happened?
Well, unfortunately, and I hope everybody's safe, the storm is right over Rydell. Actually, as it actually went by already, but about half an hour ago, the eye of the storm was actually right above CoralVue. So I haven't gotten any text messages or anything, and bad news travel fast.
Yeah.
I'm hoping that everything is okay. And they were all hunkering down, and that's the reason why he couldn't make it. So
yeah, thoughts and prayers to those guys.
Yes, I just told him it's like okay, man, don't worry about it. Just please don't get blown away. But no, that's the reason why he couldn't make it. So otherwise, we would have been the 4 of us just having some pain in here. But wow, I'm feeling that one.
I
definitely made a mistake on how much I put on that.
Going back to the control, we wanted to make it so that, and Peter, you haven't had a chance to do this, and I don't know if you've listened to the previous talks that we've had, but since we've sent you the controller on the firmware, we actually have 0 to 10 inputs back into the control working, and we have also analog inputs working.
Oh.
you actually get you can get up to 4 analog inputs with the control. This is the stuff that you have to pay, I think, like over $100 for a single control, for a single input with the competitors.
Yeah, part of my order, I ordered the 0 to 10 cables, the quad cable, and some other stuff, because I do have several 0 to 10 pumps that are one of the few things I don't have automated that I'm looking forward to automating on this system. Yes. Man, I don't know about you guys, but I still feel that.
100% still a nice slow burn going on, which I don't know if I'm happy about.
Jeremy, do we have to refrigerate this one?
I don't know. I didn't look yet. Let me check.
Okay, it says no preservatives and gluten-free. So again,
probably a yes to buy this, which I don't think any of us can recommend highly.
No. I feel so far this one right now. This is going to be my go-to now. I mean, this one is really tasty. I mean,
I don't think I'm going to be buying any of these in large quantities. The Secret Aardvark, though.
Yeah, this one I would buy it.
The reviews on this one are actually like very legit.
Yes, exactly. You're right.
It didn't have flavor. It just had a lot of heat. Like it just had a lot of heat and burn. Yeah. And I don't, if you're gonna make a hot sauce,
it's not bad. It's. I think my initial reaction was I didn't love the flavor. I don't think there was much flavor, really, like you're saying.
Right. I think if there was any flavor, it wasn't. It came after the spiciness, the heat, so I couldn't taste anything.
Yeah. So, I see. Richard says, "Are these Reef safe?" I suppose you could probably kill Aptasia with these.
You can probably this is something else. All right, so
funny story. Being we're doing this really quick, like back in like 1990, I don't know, 5 or so, 4. I used to be an electrician, and used to go out with the guys after work, and I actually won a hot wings eating contest at Hooters. Like back in the mid 90s, and I won a sweet Hooters satin jacket, and I sadly I don't know whatever happened to it. So otherwise I'd be rocking that bad boy right now if I probably
should have. That was it.
But so look out, I got credentials.
Wait, Peter, is it like quantity or overall heat that was the competition?
It was 5 wings with 5 of their insanity wings or whatever it is. You had to sign the waiver and the whole 9 yards, and it was the first person to finish all 5 wings. And honestly, I could not taste anything for like a week after. It was just everything was just numb. So.
Oh my God.
Hopefully this doesn't damage me. Yeah, this could be bad, because if you lose your sense of taste here, you might be like, "Oh my God, I got the COVID," but it's really the hot sauce.
Hey, are you experiencing some hot flashes, no taste, you can't smell a thing, watery eyes, sniffles? Yeah. I do everything right now.
All of it.
All over the above. So I want to take some time to say hello to Ricardo Lasso. I want to say hello to Metro Cat. She's joining us as well.
What's up, Cat?
Philip Snell is here as well. So we got quite a crew here. I know we're not talking about much about control and all this stuff. I think we've covered it enough sometimes. I don't want to sound too repetitive.
Fun.
Yeah. Plus tomorrow we'll be doing the tech talk tomorrow on the podcast. This is just a fun hangout.
Yeah, this is just a fun. Yeah, exactly. So let's go to the next one, guys. This is the one that I've been cleaner.
Oh, boy.
Yeah. This is called the colon cleaner, and this is best mustard base hot sauce by the Strategist. Not too mild and not too spicy. I rate this godly hot sauce 10.3 out of 10. So
all right.
At least we're not using the Pamela Anderson scale anymore. So
I've done a couple of eating contests as well, but never for heat. Mine have always just been quantity.
Okay. So we got it just like we did before. You got to shake it very well. Smell it.
It's definitely mustard base. This will definitely have a different flavor. I do like a mustard based sauce. So.
Oh, this would be good over hot dogs.
Well, you say that now. The other one smelled pretty decent too.
Yeah, but this one is mustard and a little bit of sweetness to it. I smell too. Don't?
Yeah. I think this one's gonna be better. I have higher hopes for this one.
So this one again, everybody can see right there. It's got an old guy in there. I don't know what it is. And let's see. Right. There it is. Refrigerate after opening.
Definitely gonna go easier on this one. I went a little heavy.
No preservatives at all.
Okay, here's some mustard so everybody can see I'm not cheating. Whoa, yikes.
Oh, Carlos, you went big, bud.
Oh, boy. Ooh, I'm going to pay for this one.
I got like 4 good solid drips, and this is considered hotter. So we're in trouble on my end.
All right. Okay.
All right. I went pretty good. I went
Cheers.
4 too.
Cheers,
so,
guys.
cheers.
Here we go.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, yes. Oh, my God.
I like that.
Hands down, I'm actually going to, you know what? Careful, because some of these ones sneak up on you afterwards.
Oh, yeah. Absolutely.
I'm a little worried about that,
but this was really good.
Really good flavor.
I'm sorry. This one, now I got a second favorite. This one, I like.
Is this one even hot? Are you guys getting anything?
I got round all around my mouth. It's not like super hot in my tongue yet.
No, I'm getting it. I'm getting a little tingling, but I don't think it's that hot.
No, I'm going back for more. I want some
I'm actually
heavier dollops here.
All right, let's try again.
A little more.
All 3 of us are trying a little more.
Yeah, I think so. Because otherwise, I'm okay, guys. Are you?
Yeah.
Yeah, this one it does sneak up though. I feel like it's a little after the fact.
Mm-hmm.
So I was saying that other food eating contest I did with a bunch of buddies was at a place local called or semi-local called Nordic Lodge. It's a seafood place that you can go. And
it's an all-you-can-eat seafood buffet. All-you-can-eat lobsters, steaks. It's like $100 a person.
Yep.
Oh my God.
So I went and we bet whoever won the contest didn't have to pay for their meal. And so, as I'm famously known on the podcast, I'm very budget friendly. So I was highly motivated, and I ate. I wouldn't let them leave. Everyone was done, and I was still eating meals. I had 11 lobsters, 2 steaks, 2 plates of shrimp, and those were some big guys who were like, "No way, man! You're definitely paying." I'm like, "You don't even know how motivated I am."
I could have told them.
You would do not to pay not to pay for it.
Let me tell you, man. I went back and like globbed this stuff on this taco. It was good. I like this. This one was.
I like this one too.
Misleading. I don't feel.
I like this one. You know what? I think honestly, this one is hotter than this one, right?
Yeah. I agree.
I think the aardvark had more spice to it. Yeah. And it's just because it's more like the mustard makes it more round in the mouth or something. It's not as pointed.
It's got some sweet to it. It's got a little bite to it, but
it's definitely a heat.
I think this is a very well-rounded sauce. I highly, if you like mustard, if you're a mustard fan,
yeah, you got to be a mustard fan.
You got to do this one. But if you don't like mustard, stay away from it. But other than that, this is, you know what, this would be a good on a vinaigrette or a salad or something. It's just a tiny little heat. You know, it's a pleasant heat. Actually, if that makes any sense.
No, it is. It's very nice, and it like stays.
It finally kind of hit me in the back of the throat right there, and it doesn't burn like that second one did, but I finally got a little hit of the bite where it is, good.
Yeah, exactly.
It kicked it up a notch actually.
I got like a crazy post nasal drip going on. This is going to clean out my sinuses, that's for sure.
All right, so
remember, guys, this is the colon cleanser tonic. Wait till later, you may regret it.
That is fair.
So you know what? Last time you guys were here, I kind of forgot to ask you is how did you guys come up with the idea of Reef News Nation? How did it start? When was it born?
Or the fan page?
No, the whole thing. Whatever came first.
Peter's baby.
Yeah, so the podcast, God, I got sauce everywhere. Ooh, I'm a huge consumer of podcasts. I mean, I love podcasts, and I've always dabbled in audio and video. Back in high school, we had a program which was really cool. We got to be DJs at a local radio station, so I did that, and I've always kind of played and dabbled with it. Excuse me, and when I got back into the hobby, I'd been in the hobby a few years. I've been in and out of the hobby for so long, and this time I finally got back into it and was going around. I've always working in technology and living where we are. Inevitably, I'll always work about an hour away from home just to get to like one of the 3 major areas. So I'm always a couple hours in the car, and I just consume podcasts like crazy. Oh, Richard Box on. What's up, buddy?
Yeah. Thank you, Richard. And look at that. Compy said it would be good to make kind of marinade with steak. That'd be
really good.
Yes. Anyway,
so I just kind of had the idea. Jeremy's local to me, and we were friends at that point, and I kind of knew Jeremy had the gift for gab, if you will, and
I'm good at talking.
But yeah, but I knew he had a big personality. So I looked around. I knew everybody was doing YouTube. YouTube was so saturated. I couldn't find a decent podcast. At the time when we started this, I don't think there was an active saltwater only one that was going on. There was one that had a good run that kind of had died off. Maybe I think Saltwater Radio was on. Jeff, our buddy Jeff,
right? Like kind of.
It was that was it. Is Jeff's a YouTuber too, and his channel is his primary, and he does his podcast. So he was doing things sporadic, but there was nobody doing anything weekly. And I said, I said I love talking about this stuff. I talk about it all the time. I love playing with audio and stuff. So let's just do it. So I called up Jeremy and I said, Jeremy, I think you'd be a good fit for this. What do you think? And he's like, yeah, sure. Talk to me more about it. And then I got to give a huge shout out to our buddy Scott Crow up at OSA. I know he's out on the road right now with Fritz doing some stuff, so I don't think he's on. But Scott was probably the first industry person, if you will, that I really sat down and said, what do you think about this, Scott? And really kind of used him as a kind of a sounding board. And and he's like, yeah, and Scott's crazy for anything anyway. So Scott is a back of the napkin kind of inventor guy, like, oh yeah, sure, let's let's
go.
So yeah, that was really it. I invested in there. I had two goals. I said to Jeremy when we started this, I said there's two things that I won't compromise on. I want the absolute best quality audio that I can afford to buy, and it's got to happen every week. I don't want to be sporadic. There's no point in doing this if we're not going to do a product. And originally we talked about it being like 30 minutes, and I think just about every podcast we've put out has been an hour or more. So it really kind of grown from there. But yeah,
episode 1, we're like, nope, that's out the window.
That's out the window. Yeah.
Yeah, but saying, hey, what's up in 30 minutes.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, seriously. But that was really it. It was I grew it out of a need. A handful of people have attempted to come into the space and haven't stuck with it because it's a lot of work. It's an investment. Some of the YouTuber guys, Jeff is still doing it with Matt Hatter Reefer is his YouTube channel. I think the podcast is Saltwater Radio. He's a great dude. He's putting out stuff every week now. A lot of what he does though, and he really, him and I have talked about this a lot, is because he's doing YouTube, he just streamlines, his podcast is really audio from his YouTuber. It's the same topic. So really streamlines his workflow. But that was really it. It was just, there was a gap in the market and in two, I don't know, what are we, 2.5 years now?
2.5 years, bud.
2.5 years where, we're over 60,000 listeners.
In March, it will be 3, right?
Yeah. Coming up in March will be 3 years. So, aside from, I think two times we've missed a podcast for various reasons. And then a handful of times it's, been late from the day it was supposed to be. But aside from that, we've delivered essentially 136 weeks of podcasts come hell or high water of mostly an hour or more. So
you remember recording in the RV? Outside of
New York.
Yeah, in New York, in a parking lot, so we could, have an episode go out that week because you were about to jump on a plane, right?
That was it. Yeah, I went to Rap New York, and then I was leaving right after Rap New York to go to another show somewhere. So I wasn't going to have a gap to come home. Jeremy had come down to the show. I had set up. So that's, if you guys don't know about the Reef News road trip, good buddy Rachel Fogel of Reef Weeds Art, she said to me, hey, you should buy a motorhome and we should go down. Oh yeah, they're right there. I got one. You can kind of see one in the background here, a little blurry, but one of her originals here too. She said, hey, we should buy a motorhome. We should go to Rap Orlando together in a motorhome. Like totally like just joking around. We were sitting around having some drinks and I was like, all right. So I went out and bought a 36-foot Class A motorhome and wrapped it all up in vinyl and we drove to Florida. I had not gone more than 50 miles in it since buying it the day we left for Florida. On the trip to Florida, we blew out a tire. I had to spend $2,000 on a set of tires in Virginia. And then we stopped for gas in Daytona, got in the car in the gas station while at the pump, click, click, click. Nothing. I was like, all right, unfortunately I'm a car guy, crawled under the motorhome, starter was bad. So one of the guys took a Uber to AutoZone, got a new starter. I changed the starter in the parking lot of the gas station in Daytona to make it to Orlando for Rap. And that was it. The ride home was seamless and fine. We had those two events, but yeah, just crazy stuff like that. So,
Peter,
what's that?
were you able to get out from in front of their gas pumps? Were you
No. We took up a whole side of pumps for better part of an hour.
Awesome.
I went in and told the guys, like, what do you want me to do? I'm like, you gonna get a collection of people out here to push? Like,
Yeah.
Sorry, I don't know what to tell you. But it's been a ton of fun. We've done a lot of cool, unique stuff. Last year, I was very fortunate. I went to all 4 wrap shows. I went to both Aquashellas. I went down to the grand opening of WWC. Got to be a part of Waterbox's Blue Friday. It's so surreal what we've been able to do and the opportunities provided in just a couple short years. And I mean, being on this show is an example. Like, it's just awesome. It's so surreal, and it's, and we appreciate and love, you guys and everybody that, wants to have us on and talk about it. I kind of feel stupid, like every week when I'm editing the podcast, I'm like, who would listen to me? Like, I can't stand, and I guess that's like a thing that most people can't stand their own voices, but I'm like, why do people listen to this? Like, I'm editing away, but they do. And we love them for it. And we have we have a great admin team, and people have really stepped up to help us and give to us every day. And it's just awesome. So I thank you for allowing us to be a part of this, no matter how painful it is.
Yeah. And on my end, I'm in the same boat, man. I feel like I get to experience a lot through the podcast because I don't actually go to many of the shows. I'm home. I have 4 kids, and I don't travel a lot. So I work 2 jobs. I run around like a crazy person all of the time. But I get to experience shows through the podcast as well, and I enjoy it. And Peter, you do a great job, man. Don't downplay what you do. It's awesome. And
thank you. No, I don't downplay it. It's just like when I'm editing, I'm just like, listen. That's a thing. It's actually a scientific thing that people don't like to hear their own voice.
Yeah, I don't like. Sometimes I don't like watching my own shows, and even though sometimes I have to watch them because I like to see what the comments are. The problem with me right now is that it's kind of hard to keep up with the comments and have a conversation at the same time.
Ooh, yeah, totally.
Yes.
Yeah. Speaking of which, Dan Swanson, yes, you can turn off the chaser lights. That is an option.
You can have them all, like, it's pretty easy too. I think you can do it like just clicking a button, have it be one color, have it be chaser, you have a couple.
If you go to the options page, if you connect to the WaveEngine, and then on the left-hand side, go to the options page. There you can actually tell you can actually turn off, you can change the LEDs, or you can actually put the LEDs on a schedule. So they only turn on from 8 a.m. until 10 p.m. and after that they shut off. Or you can just shut them off completely. So you can do that.
Primo, because if it's in a bedroom, that chaser lights could be very distracting.
Very distracting.
Simple. Options, LED mode.
Yeah.
Breathe or none.
Yeah,
right
exactly.
Simple as that.
Boom.
All right, guys. So let's go to the third one, which is the all natural.
That was the 4th one. We're at the last one already.
Yeah, zombie apocalypse sauce, gluten-free, by the way.
That's I'm healthier.
I eat gluten, but
best ghost pepper hot sauce.
That one burnt my nose. Nope, this one's not gonna be good.
At first bite, you think this isn't so hot. The heat keeps building and building until your face freaking melts off.
Oh my god!
Oh wow!
Be careful! Don't take too big of a whiff. It burnt my nose.
This one's gonna hurt, guys.
you guys going manly on this?
On this,
I'm going man. I go manly right there.
Dude, mine is okay. It's like caked in.
I know. I just shake it up quite a bit.
Yeah, you gotta shake it in there. Oh my
god!
Right,
I went 4 drops. So if it goes well, I'll go heavier. But I went 4 drops.
Oh my god,
dude! I can't even. Mine's. I don't know about this for me, bro.
But
shake it.
So far, Peter. Is it the first one or the third one that you like the best?
Third one, definitely. The third one, cleaner, without a doubt.
That's the one. All right, Peter went for it. That means I'm going to go for it. All right, here we go.
All right, here we go. I will put myself in for punishment with you boys. If I can get any to pour out. This is so
JD from Brooklyn, man up, Pete. Okay, all right.
It's not too bad. There's a little bit of bitterness to it. There's a tiny bit of bitterness to it. And definitely it's building up now. Definitely it's building up. But you know what?
Feel it.
I'm going for it again.
All right, let's see what Carlos does. Oh my God! All right. Carlos did it. Let me. I got D from Brooklyn calling me out, so I'm gonna go.
Thanks, Bob.
Mm.
All right, I went Carlos level there.
All right, here we go, boys. I'm in
Oh.
there.
All right, let's see.
I can feel it. Oh shit! Crap! I can feel it in the back of my throat now.
That was not good.
Oh, actually, you know what? They were actually pretty good. Even this one's got some heat. I can right here in the back, right here on the right side.
I'm getting it right in my mouth.
Woo!
I think the second sauce damaged me. Like I'm not getting this. All right, I'm gonna go more in.
Not as bad. Yeah.
Dave Insanity was oh. Never mind. It's starting to sneak up. It takes a while now, Peter.
All right, should I regret what I just did here?
Oh my God. Yep. It does. Yep. Carlos just sprouted hair. I did. How are you, D? D. What's up, man? What's up, man? Thank you for joining us here. I'm sorry, guys. It's
Okay.
Are you starting to hallucinate? What's going on?
Wait a minute. Oh, yeah. Ooh.
Uh-oh. Hang on.
Yeah, it builds.
It builds up.
There it is.
Yeah.
Oh boy.
Peter, you got feeling it now?
It's starting to come in. I might have gone a little heavy on that.
Did you see that voice? Did you see that voice go up? Simon, man. Oh my God. So
Carlos' voice has
Waiting
changed.
in line to vote, people are like, "What the hell are you watching?" That's awesome.
Woo! Thank you, guys.
No, that wasn't terrible.
No,
maybe it'll catch up with me.
I kind of went big on that one with you boys, and I'm all right.
I did too. I did like 3 pulls. I really went on it. there was no. I got 2 tacos left. I could go heavy again, but
yeah. Now, which one? I mean, I got a couple of wings left. I might go back to the colon cleanser because it's just that was by far my favorite.
I'm not crying.
Huh?
I'm not crying. You are.
I'm not crying in baseball.
And I get all itchy when it's hot. It's like I get sweaty, I get itchy. But you know what? We're having a good time. This is. I really enjoy
I'm waiting for them to sneak up on me. Like I feel my tongue starting to tingle, but I feel like any minute now.
Yeah.
Like you're gonna see from the side, like a hand come out and just like left hook me from off camera.
I'll come right over, Pete.
I can't say. I can't thank you guys enough because. Again, there's not many people out there that will just blindly say yes to a hot sauce tasting.
We did 100%. We're like, yeah, sure.
Anybody will say yes to a beer tasting. But
Fact.
That's a fact. You said hot sauce tasting. I'm like, are they going to go for it? And they came back. They both came back right away and says within a few minutes, says yes, let's do it. I'm like, yes.
I replied, I'm going to have to work on this one.
I'm telling you, I didn't get like I'm sweating, I'm hot, but this one didn't.
Bro.
You know what? It didn't linger that much. It's almost gone now. It's like
that second one hurt and didn't go away.
Yes,
for a long time. Like the whole topic we talked about after we talked about the control for a while. I was just like,
it was still there. But
so the real question is who's going to take the dare of taking a big hit of the second sauce?
Not me.
Not it.
Carlos, you lost, bro.
Here we go. Second sauce. Just for you guys.
Oh, man.
No, but come on. No, don't do it, Carl. Don't do it. Come on.
I'll go back to the yard park.
Let me see.
There's no control setting to turn off that pain. Oh, no. No.
Dairy.
Nope.
Here we go. Oh.
Oh.
I'm gonna pay for this one.
Oh yeah.
We got RNN Nation, Jeremy, telling us to make sure we represent and don't let Carlos want us up on that.
Dude, all right, so we got to try the second one again?
No, yeah, second one again,
How
but
about I go with like half the bottle of Aardvark instead?
you just gonna chug right off the bottle?
I'll drink right out of the bottle.
No, I can't figure out where the hell my camera is.
You ready?
Oh,
Not bad.
All right, I just took. Oh boy.
what did he?
All right, so here's
I'm kind of
the camera.
Now.
There's my taco. I went in. That's the second sauce, the disgusting one.
Oh, you guys
Oh
suck.
my god.
I just drank out of the bottle and it's not enough? All right.
Oh, this one's hurting.
You
Ouch.
drank out of the bottle for the one of the best ones on there. Blaine, this is for you, buddy. So if I'm dying tonight, I'm calling you at 3 a.m. You're gonna have to talk me through it. So here we go.
Oh, yeah. I'm in too. Pete went big.
Oh my god.
No,
I'm actually crying, guys. Look at me.
No, that's so bad. Oh, that hurts.
Oh my god.
No.
Remember, guys,
This is definitely number
don't
4.
touch your eyes. Don't touch your eyes.
It's not even good tasting.
No, this is terrible.
Oh my god. Oh, there's not enough milk in the world.
I don't even want to swallow it.
I know, I just keep chewing. I want a heavy cream.
Oh god, it's horrible.
Oh,
I can't even swallow this.
oh my god. But the longer you keep it in your mouth, the worse it is.
Oh,
That's what she said.
Oh. Oh my nose. Oh my god. Talk about cleaning your Oh.
oh,
Medium one.
that's horrible.
Oh.
Oh, also heavy cream, whipping cream is not good to drink. Oh.
Oh, that hurts. I feel it burn in my nose.
Don't make me laugh when I'm drinking water, man. Oh. Guys, that second one was painful.
No, it was no good.
Oh my
I'm
god.
going in the garbage.
Wow. You know what? Dave was a smart one for calling it out. Oh my god.
Death.
Oh.
So, I hope you guys are having a good time. I mean, I see people still sticking around and watching us suffer. I mean, it's like watching a train wreck, I guess. Reality TV at its best. Oh my god. Wow. That second one, I'm sorry, I can't do this one. Out of the 3, this one right here, no way, no can do.
Dead.
Oh.
I can't even. Ooh. So while we try to recover here, I want to say thank you again for everybody that is coming to watch us. Ricky Knight, thank you for checking us out. Michael Schrader says, face melting. Oh my God. I gotta say, guys, this one is this one got to me.
This one lived up to its name, at least.
Oh my God. Sam Parker, rest in peace, Carlos. We'll miss you dearly. Oh my God. I don't even want to think what's tomorrow's gonna be like. Jeremy Reichel. Yeah, Jeremy, you know what? I'm bringing this Dave's one for you, to you, because I know he likes hot sauce, but I don't think he can handle that one. Oh my God. What else?
Still hurts. It still hurts. My lips hurt. David
Paulson. I mean, what is it? One of the CoralVue staffers says, soak that win. I'm like, we did that tackle. So how were the tackles? I mean, I think, aside from that second one, I mean, those wings, my wings were really good. I mean, I paid for that second one. I probably wouldn't do it again. But the other 3, oh my God, I would definitely do them
absolutely.
Again.
I agree 100%.
The other 3, I'm keeping.
You're keeping, but that first one, you know what? Oh my God, we hopefully we'll talk about tomorrow when we do a Reefcast. Maybe we do a 5-minute interview on how we're feeling today.
We'll do a recap. Yeah.
Oh, wait, I got a subject, Peter.
Yeah.
You and me in fantasy football this week, bud.
I've given up on that, so it's no.
Oh man, don't bring up football. The Bears, my Chicago Bears on Monday, that was just an embarrassment. Oh my God.
Man.
I lost last week to the guy from Scotland who didn't even know what football was, so don't worry about it.
Oh, ouch, yikes. He probably thought it was rugby or something like that. And still won.
He did ask if you could pick up Lionel Messi as a kicker. I don't know, but
oh my God. That was horrible. That one was horrible. Why we went back to that? Bro. I blame you, Carlos. You're the one that threw down the gauntlet on that.
All Carlos' fault.
I couldn't do it. I mean, everybody's going to go watch Halle Berry. And I mean, I can't look. It's like, she was just downright. Oh my gosh. She hands down. What is it? 1990s. I'm not worthy. I'm not worthy. Seriously. I'm not worthy.
You heard it here first. I'm no Halle Berry.
Oh my God, that was.
I know you're surprised by that, but oh my God, my lips still hurt.
So I'm I wanted to talk about Peter. You touched upon the part about the controller where it's the controller for all. It was now that you've actually had a chance to look at it and saw the interviews and everything. One of the things that I've noticed a lot from the interviews, and because we've been doing a lot of interviews lately. And we've had a lot of Neptune fans come and check our interviews and our presentations and everything. And I gotta say that I gotta give hands down to them. The guys are coming in here and they are being open-minded. They're not. I gotta say, Neptune Apex fans are coming to us and asking very good questions. They're open-minded. They're not coming here to be negative or put the product down, which we appreciate. And I got it hands down. They're awesome. And the great thing about it is that most of them, once they're done listening to all the features that we have, they're actually impressed and they're actually considering the switch,
right?
Which is such a flatter, compliment to us.
Yeah, I mean. Again, I'm an Apex user. I'm not going to bash any other companies or anything else, and there's no need to.
Yeah.
But I will say, and I commend those people as well too, because there are a lot of people, especially on social media, that just want to come in and make a mess. So I do commend those people as well. But I will say, and I don't think this is even a criticism; it's just a fact. But aside from the Trident, Apex innovation has been relatively flat over the years. We've added some things that you needed. The wave pumps came in and the dose, and those are core things. But there's really been, and again, I'm leaving the Trident out of this. The Trident, I wish it could be its own standalone thing, but it's not. But it's its own beast because there currently is not a product to compare to it.
Yes.
For what it does in its function. So leaving that aside, Apex in general has been kind of flat. And I think people are excited to see something new to come to space. Competition drives innovation. I keep saying that over and over. And I think people are interested, in seeing a new perspective and a new take and a new idea on some things too. And you guys really have done. I mean, one of the things I think is really innovative is like we talked about the CO2. You make a CO2 solenoid that's plug and play with your system.
Yes.
Like that's cool. Nobody else is doing that with a controller. You can get an Apex to control your CO2, but it's a really kind of, custom setup kind of thing. You guys have a product right out of the box. You have the rope leak detector. That's the first, first people I know doing anything like that. And it's awesome because I have 2 tall 100-gallon tanks. Putting a rope leak detector around the salt water tank when I'm doing a water transfer from fresh to salt is a quick way, in case I lose track of time and not paying attention, to shut off the pump that's transferring the water if I start overflowing that tank.
Exactly.
And I couldn't
And you don't even, and Peter, you brought up a great point. You don't even have to put it on the ground. You can just put it, you can just attach it or tape it to the top, the bin itself. Yeah. And as soon as the water trickles down, because it trickles down so slowly, it'll just, water sticks to surface and it'll go and touch it. I mean,
yeah, I took the little clips you guys include, and I just epoxied them around the tank, you know?
Exactly. So. And I heard a comment from somebody that said that, that they had considered them, but they won't use them because they just couldn't get them to sit down to actually, be flat on the surface. Mm-hmm. And I'm like, go to Home Depot and get a little thumbtacks. They're so easy. If that's your excuse, that's kind of lame.
Yeah. Especially in this world of 3D print. I'm sorry, Jeremy. One side. Especially in this world of like 3D printers, like you can get a quality, our buddy Antonio over at VCA, he does the bulk of his work off a printer that you can get for essentially $180 refurbished, and it works great. So even in this day and age where they're becoming common, household items to do stuff, you can make a bracket, print a bracket, find a bracket. Like there's so many solutions to make it. The thing's flexible. It's a no-brainer to me, and the fact that you guys have thought about that up front again is because you're coming into this fresh. You thought about it with a new perspective, and unfortunately, again, Neptune has really been the primary game for a long time now, and with that they've put their focus at the Trident. The Trident was a huge undertaking. Like I'm not selling it saying, that if it was easy to do, everybody would have a three-way tester, and that took a lot of their time and effort. But I don't think they've done a lot, to be fair, with innovating fusion more or thinking outside the box and how to make things simpler, how to make things easier, or how to make things, more automated. And they just kind of focused on, some core new things like the Trident instead. So it's great. I really like the perspective you guys looked at this from. And again, and the Neptune guys, they're hobbyists too, but you guys are really looking at this from how can I make this simple for me, which will make it simple for everybody else.
Well, that was one of the things that I wanted to touch that upon, because at the end of the day, trust me, and Peter, you know this, and Jeremy, you'll know this from a different perspective. Making things easy for consumer usually means more work for the developer.
Yes.
Exactly. So it would have been very easy for us to call it after 1 year, just do like what every single controller that has come and gone over the last 20 years, and just try to push something like that. But Dave, to Dave's vision, he would not allow that. It's like, let's keep pushing the envelope. It's been 3 years since we've been working on this controller, and that's because of trying to make it. How do we make it so that it is complicated enough yet simple to configure? And that was the big challenge, especially when we got to the logic if and statements or if or statements, and even combining ands and ors. We can do this on this controller without having to code. I know, Peter, you've seen the and, you have 3 criteria. We have like, turn on my protein skimmer if my leak detector is dry, and my waste collector is dry, and my return pump is on, Yeah. But you can also say, turn on, it's like, you could say, if my leak detector and my waste collector are both are both dry, or my pump and something else, or my pump or something else is this, then turn on the skimmer. So you not only can you do if and, you can also do and parentheses, and then link those 2 parentheses with an and an or, which is a more sophisticated way of creating programming. And you're able to do that with the control without writing a single line of code, which automatically makes it so that it's compiled, so there's no conflicting events. you know?
Yeah. And I mean, I think the reason this is going to be so wildly successful is because if you go into things like Amazon Alexa and go into their routine section, that's how routines work. If you go into IFTTT, which a ton of people use IFTTT, which if you guys listening don't know, that means if then that. It's a way to take different ecosystem products and make them work together when they have open APIs. So you can do just what Carlos was saying, but you could say, if my Amazon device does this, then take my Ring device and do that, and then take my this and do that. If the, you know, and these products are wildly successful, and these are the mainstream products. So you guys have essentially replicated what people are already learning and using, and more people are using these things. In, you know, I got a ton of, I mean, my whole house is Amazon automated, and I have all kinds of routines to say one thing and it executes 15 different things, like to start my morning or to go to bed at night or whatever. And you guys have done a really good job of replicating that. And I think that is the biggest piece of innovation, you know, that you're bringing to this game, is that you've aligned yourself in what people are being exposed to in other mainstream products like Amazon products and the IFTTT platform, which is a huge platform.
Yes. Well, thank you. You know, another thing that I wanted to clarify is that, and this has been a rumor going around, I know that you know, if you lose your internet, the controller can't connect to the Wi-Fi device, you know. And I wanted to make this clear. You know, the control sends the signal to turn on or turn off to the Wi-Fi device directly through your router, but it does not go to the internet. So if you lose your internet connection, it doesn't matter, because the control is still going to be able to tell the Wi-Fi device to turn on and turn off. It's not going to be a problem. Now, obviously, if you lose power, then I don't know any controller out there that can actually work without power. And if they tell you, they're just lying to you, you know. So so I wanted to make that clear, because there's been a lot of rumors and a lot of misunderstanding that if you lose the internet, then your control can't talk to the Wi-Fi strips, and that is not the case. Right. As long as that router works, it's going to work. It's going to have the communication. And then, yes, there's some naysayers out there. It's like, well, what if my router fails? Come on, guys. How many times has the router failed in your lifetime? I mean, even as an IT person right here, you know, who's tinkering with the router and installing different firmwares, I still can't make my darn thing to fail. You know, right. You know, it may fail for a few seconds. It'll shut down, but it'll come right back up, and my Wi-Fi will be back. You know.
See, I mean, yeah, and you know, as a web developer, you have to develop to the masses, not the individual cases. And logic dictates that the percentage likelihood of a router failure is negligible across, you know, internet being out. An easy solution for all those people that are concerned about this is you can get a $50 battery backup and put your router on it, and then you could build a recipe within Hydros to gracefully shut everything down. So even if you have no power, you know, you can you can still kind of build a routine to for your communication devices with inexpensive battery backups to shut everything down gracefully to get yourself ready for a situation. And I even think, you know, and I haven't played with it yet, but I even think you could figure out a way for the Hydros to sense a power outage in a certain area and like actually, take one, you know, and then kind of execute its own plan to shut certain things down to reserve power or whatever the case is.
Well, here's what the Hydros does, and this is something that we were very, very avid about. It is that if I were to grab one of the Wi-Fi strips and unplug it, you know, fake a power outage or a complete failure of my Wi-Fi strip, then automatically, not only obviously everything shuts off on that power strip, but at the same time, my control will automatically know that Wi-Fi strip is not responding, and it'll give me a text message. It'll send me a message telling me, hey, I can't talk to Wi-Fi strip A. You know, I don't know why, but you should go and check it out. Yep. You know, so we've done that redundancy where you have the Wi-Fi, and if you have a collective, which Peter, we haven't talked about this, I think, is that if you have a collective, which is multiple HYDROS devices, you know, if one HYDROS device fails, then the other HYDROS device will step up, grab the reins of every Wi-Fi device and continue to run it and tell them what to do until the master device comes right back and takes over.
Yep.
So every device can become a Wi-Fi master at any particular time. So this is one of the things where we always tell you, the more HYDROS brains you have, the stronger your whole network is going to be. And it's the same thing. You know what? This is not a concept that we invented ourselves. This is a concept that has been used by major companies. Amazon doesn't have a single server somewhere in Oregon and everything goes there. It doesn't. Amazon, in order for Amazon to keep up with the demands of the entire world, they have to have remote servers in Chicago. They got them in Portland. They have them in Germany. They have them in Beijing. They have them in India. All these places, because they've built that redundancy. If one server goes down, any of those other three, any of those 4, 5, 6 servers can come up and step up and take over the load for that particular area. That is what we created.
Yeah. We're going to get into that for the podcast deep, because that is a huge thing. I saw you guys talking about it on, I think it was Devin's live stream that you were on with him. And, but that is huge. That's, you know, a lot of people, you know, now mesh networks are the big thing. You know, a lot of companies are giving you mesh routers, or you get the Google mesh or whatever.
Yes.
It's the same concept. You know, it's a shared, you know, you guys use collective, but it's still a mesh system essentially. You know, and that's a super smart idea, because a lot of, you know, one of the areas that becomes an issue with like my complicated Apex setup is it's module based. Yes. And if I lose a module or if I lose a connection, you know, there's nothing else picking up. I got one brain, one unit, and if for something, you know, happens between that and a module, you're done. Yeah, you're done. I mean, you got your failbacks and stuff that can maybe save you in some cases, but to be able to pass the active workload off to another unit to say, you know, hey, can continue fixing this, even allows, and let's not forget, you know, a four port power bars, you know, $40, $39, whatever it is, even for you to set up redundancy to say, God, you know, I'm so paranoid that if a power bar goes down, I want the second one and the second pump to kick in or something. You could even do that in an affordability rate and have that peace of mind, because another brain is going to, you know, take over, or not, you know, piece pick up. I guess I'm kind of backwards with that, but but you get the point. I mean, it's you can build a much more robust ecosystem with the way you guys have configured the product, because it's now, you know, collective is a good word. It's a shared load for people to or for the devices to kind of round robin and say, all right, somebody failed. All right, let me take over the workload for that guy or something, you know? So, and that's exciting. I mean, that's yet again, innovation. Like, I don't know anybody else that's doing that at this point. You know, that has that kind of robustness in devices that are still, let's not forget, even, you know, a Control 4 is, I don't know, $400 or whatever. To have multiple Control 4s, you have multiple full units that seamlessly communicate with each other. So,
well, the thing about it is, Peter, is that you don't need to have 2 Control 4s. You can have a Control 4 and a Control 2. The Control 2 is just as capable. You can have a Control 4 in a Sense box, which we call it a Sense box, but in a way we're selling it short by calling it a Sense box, because a Sense box, Peter, and this is something you have. I think you saw the Devin show, but the Sense box can also become its own controller.
Yeah. I heard you guys say, because the price point was
$159.
$159. Everybody was like, why is it $159 for a breakout box? And you're like, it's not a breakout box. It's a whole another brain. It can carry the whole system in a case of a failure.
Exactly. So Jeremy, you can actually, you don't have to spend the $440. You can actually purchase for your tank, you know, with your heater and your temperature probe. You can actually just purchase the $159 Sense box, put a heater probe, attach a Wi-Fi strip to that Sense box, and you got yourself a controller.
That's awesome.
Yeah, a controller.
I was looking at I keep freshwater too. I keep a planted discus tank, and I was looking at a Control 2 for that, and extremely minimal. I mean, I just run a lighting system, but I would love to have a CO2 setup on there and all these little things that I think I could do and control the way I need with a Control 2.
Yes.
Setup, super awesome. And that's a whole nother target audience that like,
yeah, for $199, the Control 2 is
Yes,
$199. That's the starter package with a power strip and
control. Yeah, over like a Planet system. It's awesome.
Yeah. And you know what? The thing about it also is I wanted to touch upon it is that we talked about CO2 and how the Control comes with a, also has one of the accessories is a CO2
solenoid.
But at the same time, if you already own your own solenoid that plugs into the wall, all you got to do is plug that solenoid to a Wi-Fi strip outlet and it'll do the same thing.
Perfect. Yep. So if you have a CO2 setup, boom, I want this many bubbles per hour. I want you to turn off when the lights are out, turn on, lights are back on. Oh, turn on. Good to go. That's it.
Yeah. Yeah, exactly.
Hey, I got a quick question. I know it was asked and I can't remember what the answer was. What is the maximum length that you can interconnect two devices with the
command bus? Okay,
command bus. Yeah.
So the command bus, it works as power and data. It can power and transfer data at the same time. If you're within 15 feet, you can actually do power and data. If you are more than 15 feet, and that one is like Ethernet. You can go. You can go 3, 4, 5, 6 floors up. It doesn't matter. It's just like Ethernet. Then you have there's almost no limit.
Yeah. Okay. All right. That's what it was. Yeah. That's one of my problems is I have another Control 4 coming for my water mixing station, but I'm about 20 feet apart from each other. I don't mind redundant power, but it was the COM bus that I was concerned about.
Yes. Then what you would do is we would send you a 25-foot cable. Yep. Data only. We call it a data only cable, and then we send that to you. And you know what? We actually encourage people, even if it's not 15 feet, if it's less, we encourage you to use at least one of them. Do a data only cable, and the reason why is because you'll have 2 power supplies.
Yeah. Redundancy.
Okay, so what happens is if you have a collective and you have 1 power supply for the entire collective, that's great. It really saves you that power supply, and you don't have 5 power supplies. But at some point, what we recommend is one of the devices has to be data only, and then that device you plug it to its own power supply, which we also sell with the kit. All right. And what that does is, if by some reason the WaveEngine or the Control that is powering the other 4 units fails and everything shuts off, then you have another Control as part of the collective that has its own power supply. And what would happen is at that point, that spare Control that is on its own power supply will say, everybody else is gone. I'm the master, and now I take over doing all the Wi-Fi strips.
Yep.
So you see, we even have that redundancy. So we give you that opportunity to make, to create this the way we wanted it, because it was developed by hobbyists. I mean, and that's the thing that we wanted to emphasize. We are hobbyists. The engineers are hobbyists. The software engineers are hobbyists. We're just hobbyists trying to make something that, we wanted to use ourselves.
Right. Yeah. I'm excited. I mean, I know you guys have a ton more stuff in development that's going to be coming out. Like, the sky's the limit for this. Honest, I'm still like all phlemmy from that last. I don't know about you guys, but like my stomach hurts. I can feel it.
You can feel it. Well, guys, thank you again to everybody. Everybody, thank you so much for joining us. I know we've gone a little longer than I expected. I didn't expect we were going to have this chat, but it was, always with you guys, the beer tasting just was like this. We just an hour and a half, and we're like, it was like going to a bar.
It was
just sitting and drinking beer, and that's in this era of COVID and social distancing, I really, really appreciate you guys, keeping in touch and doing this. I swear I've actually talked to you guys more now that I talked to you when we were actually able to, and
very true,
and I love that about it. So again, Reef News Network channel, give us the rundown. When is it? What day? How do we listen to it?
Sure. Yeah. Just every smartphone out there has a podcast app. So you'll find us there. Just search Reef News Network, Apple iTunes, Stitcher, Spotify, iHeartRadio. You can tell your Amazon device to to play Reef News Network, and she'll fire it right up for you from, I think, iHeartRadio. You can find us on Facebook. Just search for Reef News Network. You can join our community supported group, Reef News Nation, be a part of that. Make sure to get over there, and we got some media partners that are always killing it for us. Reefs.com, Reef to Reef. We're partnered with them, and then our good buddy Bahama Llama Corals over on YouTube is always doing stuff with us. So just search for Reef News Network. You'll find where we got our fingers. We're dabbling with everything, so you'll find us out there. But Thursdays 8 p.m. 99.5% of the time is when you're going to get a new podcast. But podcasts are a little different. When you subscribe, they just kind of show up in your feed, and a lot of people don't listen till Friday anyways, the numbers tell us. So even if we're a little late with it, most people are getting it in a timely manner. So but that's it. And thank you, Carlos, thank you so much again for thinking of us. Thank you for having this fun stuff. I mean, we get on and I, do interviews and talk, and you're like, oh yeah, well, whatever. But it is a lot of fun to sit here and do silly things and like hurt ourselves with this crazy, stupid sauce and enjoy some beers. But I really appreciate you and CoralVue and everything you guys have, been doing to support us and have us on. And then also, taking our expertise as beta testers and listening to our feedback as well. I really, it's a point of pride to have something come to market and know that, I had some small part of knowing that I helped to bring, make this the best it could be to coming to market. It's really, really kind of a cool and humbling, experience, just like doing this podcast is. But, never did I think I would be, this ingrained with companies and people like you in this industry. And it's really awesome to be that. So thank you guys. Thanks to Dave and everybody else over the team, Don, Jeff, Jeremy, everybody else I'm forgetting. You guys are all killing it over there, and thank you so much for having us be a part of just, I don't know, the madness that's going to be the Hydros release.
Yes.
So quick couple things. First, Peter, what's the Amazon skill again? Somebody asked.
I think you just say play podcast, Reef News Network.
There you go. Then Carlos, somebody earlier asked about a peristaltic pump. Does CoralVue have one they put out?
Yeah, actually, we do have is the FX STP by Camor.
Yeah,
the
that's
FX STP Pro. There's the Pro, which is fully Wi-Fi and everything. And actually, we are working with Camor to bring controllability to those pumps from within the Hydros world.
Nice.
So awesome. That's going to be good. We years ago we tried to make to bring Camor to compatibility. And we were shut down. We were shut down. And it was sad because everybody claims that they want to work with other companies, but then in the back end it's like no, we can't do it. Because they had something similar coming lined up. So we were shut down that way. So now we're gonna do it ourselves, and hopefully everybody will like it.
Yeah, nice. All right.
So anyway, excuse me. Wow, it's still there.
It's still there, man. I feel it. That one was terrible.
I want to say thank you to Peter. I want to say thank you to Jeremy. Please join us again. If you like the podcast, if you like the video stream, if you like it, please hit that subscribe button or hit the like button. That will tell you every time we have something live. You'll get a little pop-up on your window that says Carlos and CoralVue. It's live. Come and visit us. And sometimes we'll be talking about lighting. Sometimes we'll talk about control. And sometimes we'll be doing some really stupid things to hurt ourselves and make you laugh.
Indian food, I'm telling you, that's the next one. Indian or Thai food, one or the other.
Oh, God, yeah. Next, Thai food.
Oh, boy. Yes, okay.
Yes. Can we just eat a bunch of raw seafood? Let's go with raw seafood. Come on.
I love raw seafood. Ceviche.
I go ceviche, but there's not much of a challenge in eating delicious ceviche.
Let's go with try to slurp down 3 dozen oysters each.
Nope. Next time I got a story about ceviche and my wife. You'll get a good laugh out of it, but I'll save it for next time.
All right.
I want to say thank you to Dave and Brandy from CoralVue, the owners of CoralVue. They make this happen. Sometimes it's hard to approve live streams where we're not trying to push you a product and we're just having a little bit of fun. I want to say thank you to Jeremy Reichel, our art director. He also does all the graphics. I want to say thank you to April. She's the new producer for the last couple months, and she's doing a kick-ass job. She comes up with this idea. She's the one that came up with the hot sauce idea.
Love it. Thanks, April.
thank you again for watching. And I know things are getting up with the pandemic, so just stay safe, stay home, wear a mask if you can to protect each other. And then we'll see you we'll see you next week, but I will be with Don tomorrow for Reef News Network podcast. And then I will be also with Don again on Saturday at 12 noon for Reef Automation live stream. Yes. So, and that Reef Automation is going to be a little bit tricky because that's a very high technical group in there.
Yep.
So we got to bring our A game on that one.
But again, you're bringing the right guy with you. If anybody's going to be able to throw down, Don is the guy you want to bring to a big head group. Yeah.
But again, tomorrow, subscribe to CoralVue, subscribe to Reef News Network, watch, listen tomorrow because it's going to be strictly CoralVue HYDROS with interviews. And we're going to look at, Pat, what's changed between the last year and a half and just before the release.
Yeah.
The control is going to be released on 10/31 Halloween Day. So thank you so much. And you guys have a great night.
You too. Thanks, everybody.
Thank you so much, guys. Cheers.
It's how you play the game. It's how you play